going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at Transformers 4 Age of Extinction Deluxe Class Slash from the Transformers Generations line. Now, Slash is a very frilly velociraptor. He is supposed to be a velociraptor, and in this mode, it kind of works. It does work in the Dino mode. I do have a few minor complaints about the Dino mode, but overall, I think it works. His mouth does open and close somewhat. He's not the most posable thing in this mode, but that's okay, because I think it looks pretty good. I would have liked to have seen a darker green than what we have here, but it's not too bad. There's a lot of character and a lot of detailing done in the skull, which really looks like a skull as opposed to a face. I think that's very good, and there's just nice texturing done all throughout the figure. I do not care for the rubberized plastic. I think that this figure could be a little bit cooler if they forego all of these light green bits, except for the ones in the forearms, because we'll talk about that in a minute. But the ones on the back, here on the tail, I really think that the figure could have been a little bit more interesting if they took all these pointy bits out. We don't need all these pointy bits. Now, talking about the parts underneath the front of the arms, these are actually going to be the weapons in robot mode, and they're 100% soft rubber plastic. I don't like that soft rubber plastic, and the reason I don't like it is not have to do with like a safety issue. It has to do with a longevity issue, because this soft rubber plastic is not going to be as malleable or even as, well, it's just going to fall apart in 10 years. It just is. That's the way all this soft rubber plastic works. It just falls apart after a while. And unfortunately, the entire tail is made of that soft plastic. I understand why they did it. They did it for safety. I just don't like it. That's just me. Now, transformation for this guy is actually really interesting. It starts off with by taking the tail and popping it out of place, thus exposing the head, and then taking the arm or the rear legs and folding them up and out like that. Then we'll come to the forearms, and what we're going to do is actually unpeg the entire body, first by pulling underneath the beast mode and flipping out these sections, and then take this whole head section and push it down, and then this whole middle section is going to unpeg and flip around the back of the figure and peg into place right in these little slots where the legs are. And they'll peg into place. Get those arms out of the way. And then the head is going to split open. And this is pretty cool. The bottom of the head, or the bottom where the green is actually going to swing out and around down to where the dino head is. So just got to get the dino head out of the way. So open up the dino head, fold up the bottom mandibles, and swing this section around to form the front of his feet. And then, whoop, pop the ball joints. And then twist it at the swivel, and these will become his legs. And then for the arms, turn at the ankle, twist it around, kind of collapse it first, then twist it around, and fold it up to form the fist. And you're actually seeing one of the problems I have with this specific figure. Now, I don't know if this is common to all of the figures or all Slash figures. Mine, all of the ball joints are really very, I want to say loose, but very poppy, we'll say. They like to pop open a lot. There we go. So they have a tendency to just pop off, and that's with all of his joints, unfortunately. So let me go ahead and clean him up a little bit, and we'll continue with the review. Slash's robot mode has to be one of the most busy robot modes I have seen in a long time. There is a lot going on here, and unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to like about the robot mode. Now, I will freely admit I love this transformation. I think the transformation is great. The Dino mode is pretty good. The robot mode suffers a lot, and not least of which from very, very loose ball joints in the hips. These are some of the loosest ball joints I've had in a long time. And that's a problem because if he's on a smooth surface and I go to pose him, he instantly does the splits. So posability for this guy is okay, but as I said, there's a lot going on here and a lot gets in the way. Head is on a swivel. Shoulders are on a ball joint with a swivel underneath, and then there is some bend at the elbow. Fists do not rotate because they are on a pin. There is some torso articulation, but that is negated by these frilly bits on his thighs. Swivel just above the thigh. There is bend at the knee. No real foot articulation to speak of, but you do get some fiddly parts, so you can maybe try to get him to pose well. So, up, yeah, there we go. One trend that I am glad that this figure follows along with the other Dinobots is it has a fantastic head sculpt. I love this head sculpt. In fact, this is one of my favorites. In fact, all of them are my favorites. Just love these Dinobot head sculpts. So simple, yet so freaking awesome. I really like the dino hatchets that Slash ends up with. But again, like some other Dinobots, he has the problem of he can't turn his wrists to really pose them, so you have to kind of keep his arms straight for a bit. And they're super raw, soft, rubbery plastic. I already told you what I think about that. But overall, it's not a bad look, it's just a super busy look. Of all the Dinobots, I think Slash is my least favorite. He's not a terrible figure, but there are plenty of issues that are... You need to be aware of what you're getting when you buy this figure. There are problems here, but as my friend Cheats has already done, he's already repainted this into something cooler. But I really want to see what other customizers are going to do to this guy. I think he could be very cool, but there are changes that I would love to see. I would love to see the joints tightened up. I would like to see some of the overall crazy bulk taken out. Just a personal preference thing. Like I said, I like the transformation. I think he's got a unique and interesting transformation. I would, however, like to see his legs remain on when I do transform him. I think that might just be more of something that I can fix with a little bit of paint thinner or a nail polish remover. But again, that's something I would like to have seen right out of the box. The overall look of the Dino mode is really good. Transformation is a bit fiddly. If I was going to make major changes, like I said, I would change the QC issue with the hips, but I'd get rid of all the rubbery plastic and replace it with harder molded plastic, and just make a couple of design changes. I understand what Hasbro's going for. I don't think they totally succeeded with this guy. I don't think the feathers are necessary. I'm assuming these are feathers. At least I think they are. Overall, I can't really recommend Slash, but if you want to pick him up, I don't think you're going to... This is really going to come down to what do you want out of a figure. Do you want a really awesome, just an awesome Dino mode? Then pick up Slash, because I think his Dino mode's pretty good, save for the frilliness of the feathers. If you're looking for a really good robot mode, I would look elsewhere. I don't think the robot mode is all that great. But again, removing these frilly light green pieces might aid you or might be better off in the long run. So guys, as usual, I'm Baltmatrix. I hope you enjoy this video review of Transformers Generation Slash, and I'll catch you next time.